This audio program has been produced by YBM. All rights reserved.
The Little Prince. Chapter 3. The Little Prince visits other planets. He was near asteroids 325, 326, 327, 328, 329, and 330. So he visited them first. A king lived on the first planet. He wore a white fur robe that covered the entire planet. The little prince couldn't find a place to sit down, and because he was tired, he yawned.
I do not allow you to yawn,
The king said.
I can't help it,
Said the little prince.
I've made a long journey, and I haven't had any sleep.
Then I order you to yawn,
Said the king.
Sir, excuse me for asking,
The little prince asked.
what do you rule over?
I rule over everything.
He told the little prince. He pointed to the stars. The little prince then asked him to order a sunset.
I will order it, but science must tell me when the time is right.
He looked at a calendar.
Well, that will be tonight about 7:40.
The little prince knew he wouldn't get his sunset. He became bored.
I'm going to leave now.
He told the king.
Do not leave,
Answered the king.
I will make you my minister.
A minister of what?
Of justice.
But there's no one here to judge.
He said as he left.
Wait! I will make you my ambassador.
The king quickly shouted after him.
Grown-ups are so strange.
The little prince said to himself as he went on his way. A very vain man lived on the second planet,
Hello,
said the little prince.
that's a funny hat you're wearing.
It's for receiving praise.
Replied the vain man.
But sadly, no one else lives here.
The little prince did not understand the vain man.
Clap your hands.
Said the man. The little prince clapped his hands, and the vain man bowed and tipped his hat. He then clapped again. And the very vain man bowed and tipped his hat again. After 5 minutes, the little prince decided the game was boring.
Do you really admire me?
He asked the little prince.
What does that mean? Admire.
To admire means to think that I am the handsomest, the best dressed, and the smartest man on the planet.
But you're the only man on your planet.
Said the little prince.
Admire me anyway.
I admire you.
Said the little prince.
Grown-ups are certainly very strange.
He said to himself as he continued on his journey. The drunkard lived in the next planet.
What are you doing there?
The little prince asked the drunkard.
Drinking.
Replied the drunkard.
Why are you drinking?
Asked the little prince.
To forget that I'm ashamed.
Said the drunkard.
What are you ashamed of?
Asked the little prince.
Of drinking.
Said the drunkard.
Grown-ups are very, very strange.
He said to himself. He continued on his journey. The fourth planet belonged to a businessman. The businessman was counting.
Phew, that adds up to 501,622,731.
500 million what?
The little prince asked. The businessman raised his head.
I've lived on this planet for 54 years, and I've been interrupted only 3 times,
He said.
The first time, a goose fell on my desk. The second time, I was interrupted by a rheumatism pain. I don't have time to exercise. The third time is right now. Where was I? 501 million...
500 million what?
They make lazy people dream. I'm a busy person, so I have no time to dream.
Ah, you mean the stars?
Yes, that's it. Stars.
What do you do with those stars?
Nothing. I own them.
But the stars belong to nobody.
They belong to me because I thought of owning them first.
Then what do you do with them?
I count them again and again,
said the businessman.
And that's all?
That's enough.
That's funny,
thought the little prince.
I own a flower,
he said.
I water it every day. I am useful to my flower, but you are not useful to the stars.
The businessman became silent.
Grown-ups are certainly unusual,
he said to himself as he continued on his journey. The fifth planet was the smallest one. There was only enough room for 1 street lamp and 1 lamplighter. The little prince greeted the lamplighter.
Good morning. Why did you just put out your lamp?
Orders.
Answered the lamplighter.
Good morning.
What orders?
Orders to put out my street lamp. Good evening.
Then he lit his lamp again.
But why did you just light your lamp again?
A day lasts 1 minute here, so I light my lamp and put it out once a minute. Orders.
But you can walk around your planet in 3 steps.
The little prince said.
Walk slowly and you'll always be in the sun. You will not need to light your lamp.
But that does not help,
said the lamplighter.
I really just want to sleep.
Then you're unlucky,
said the little prince. He left, feeling sorry for the lamplighter. The sixth planet was 10 times bigger than the last one. There, an old gentleman was writing large books.
Here comes an explorer,
the man said to himself.
What's that big book?
Asked the little prince.
I'm a geographer,
answered the old gentleman.
I study the seas, rivers, cities, mountains, and deserts.
Does your planet have any oceans and mountains? Or deserts?
Asked the little prince.
I don't know,
said the geographer.
I'm a geographer, not an explorer. I don't travel to places. I talk to explorers and write down what they remember. But you're an explorer,
the geographer said.
Please, describe your planet for me.
It's so small,
said the little prince.
I have 3 volcanoes and 1 flower.
We don't record flowers because they are ephemeral.
What does ephemeral mean?
It means we'll soon disappear.
Will my flowers soon disappear?
Of course.
The little prince regretted leaving his flower, but he still wanted to continue his journey.
Where would you advise me to visit?
He asked.
The planet Earth.
Answered the geographer. And the little prince went on his way, thinking about his flower. The seventh planet was the Earth. The Earth is not just another planet. It contains 111 kings, 7,000 geographers, 900,000 businessmen, 7.5 million drunkards, and 311 million vain men. In total, it has about 2 billion grown-ups. Before electric lights were invented, the Earth also needed 462,511 lamplighters. From a distance, the lamplights were beautiful. Watching them light up was like watching a ballet. First, the lamplighters of New Zealand and Australia lit their lamps. Then they went home to sleep, and the lamplighters of China and Siberia performed their part of the ballet. When their part finished, the lamplighters of Russia and India had their turn. And then came the lamplighters of South America and North America. All the lamplighters appeared in the ballet at exactly the right time. It was amazing.